Welcome into our Sportsverse studios live in Barcelona. Bobo Vieri was just mimicking me a couple seconds ago. How do you do the Gabby? And nice, Bobo man. Is back. We are so excited to have you here.
I love you guys.
Yeah, wonderful to see
I
you.
feel like I'm back in Miami.
Yeah, we wish you were.
It's a little chillier than in Miami, and of course, Ray Hudson back in the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely, with a new haircut, Gab.
Yes, he did. Tell us about your experience.
Really quickly, people who went into a hair, I didn't know it was a lady's hairdresser. I went
I
didn't speak English. I didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. Either. But there was three elderly ladies. A little older than me, believe it or not, and they were just talking about El Clásico like you wouldn't believe. I wanted to join in, but it was like Merengues, Barcelona, Guardiola.
Wow!
Between the three of them, and they were arguing. It was great. It was great.
See, so we're living El Clásico on all fronts here, and of course, we are 24 hours away from the big game. All three of us will be pitch side starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow, so you won't want to miss a minute of our coverage. But let's begin because both managers did speak today. And we even heard from Lionel Messi, and we'll get to all that in the show. But let's begin with Zinedine Zidane, the man who seems like he never breaks a sweat. He's one of the calmest managers, and Bobo, you know him personally.
Why shouldn't he be?
True.
He's won 3 Champions Leagues, he's won World Cups, he's won everything.
But the pressure never ends for him, Bobo,
No,
and he seems to wear it so well.
Ray, when you're coaching Barcelona or Real Madrid, how can you not have pressure?
Yeah.
You got pressure 24/7.
Right.
But that's okay. They're used to it.
They really are. And I mean, when asked what he was worried about, he said, "I'm not worried about absolutely anything."
Worried about what is first in the league with Barcelona.
Tied on points, 35 points.
He's in the last 16 now in the Champions League. Well, if he's worried, what about the other teams? What are they supposed to be?
His defense is playing well as well. You know, I mean,
everybody
would think that in his great days when he was conquering Europe, that it was just hands-off sort of situation, and he let the creators create. He let Ronaldo do his thing with Benzema. But the defense, of course, with the great Keylor Navas back there when it was all happy days, was wonderful. This year, they're still the second best defense, so he's having a profound influence, not just on the way they attack and a hands-off attitude and letting the footballers play their style and manage them the way he always has done so beautifully, but this seems to be a very balanced, drilled team for me, Bobo.
They play more as a team.
They really seem to.
Maybe before there was more Ronaldo,
right.
Give him the ball and let's see what happens. Now they play more as a team, so it's even harder to beat them now.
Right.
Absolutely, and they were off to a slow start, though. This was a slow start to the Zinedine Zidane 2.0 era, and now everything is clicking. Why do you think it took so much time?
I don't know. Sometimes you can't, because I think that the players, they're going to have more vacations, because like after the year they're all dead tired.
Fatigue,
fatigue. And they start off slowly, but at the end you can see after 4, 5, 6 games they're going to start getting into shape. Putting your mind back into the Liga, and sometimes it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time for Hazard to lose about 10 kilos as well.
I think that's what Bobo was referring to.
Wow.
It really was shocking how he arrived, and he, of course, is injured, so he won't be playing.
It was a factor, it truly was.
Oh, absolutely.
Integrating players like that into the team and having to juggle players like, Vinicius, who was hot and then cold. It's been a difficult transition for him this time, I think. And I think he's done a masterful job this time around. This game, though, I think is the acid test. If he can come to Barcelona in Camp Nou with all of those ingredients, it's a shame that Hazard isn't going to be involved. But the way they're playing now, for me, they look a balanced, confident, strong team. Benzema is the man. He's the one, Bobo. You were one of the great hitman of Italian football and world football. Benzema, I think he's playing as good as any number 9 in the world.
I agree with you 100%. I didn't think he would be up to this.
At this age?
Yeah, scoring so many goals.
Yeah.
And I have to say that because they were saying that he was playing for Ronaldo, so he wasn't scoring that much.
Right.
He's fantastic, this guy. Yeah. Ronaldo's gone away and he's scoring every game. He's playing good because you know how good he is with his feet. He sees the players, and he's scoring every week. So it's just fantastic.
And another player that Zinedine Zidane has had to put in quite a bit of work managing is Gareth Bale, who may return to the starting 11 tomorrow. What do you make of the whole Bale situation, the banner? Let's begin with the banner because we haven't gotten Bobo's take on the banner.
It's a circus. And it's a circus sometimes in that dressing room, in that club, because when you don't win a game, everything can break, everything falls apart. And the way I use in my career, if the coach doesn't want me there, I'm not gonna stay. I'm already on a plane to somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Anywhere. Just because I don't want someone to tell me I don't want you. You know. So this summer was like he's leaving, he's not leaving, he's leaving. Was like became pathetic. Well, that's what I think.
Sure.
And like I said, when club doesn't want you, the coach doesn't want you, you got to get out of there. That's what I think. You know, he's there, but thing is that when he plays good, no one says anything. When he doesn't play so good, it's always.
This is a great example in this Clásico for me that for Gareth Bale, this could be another situation where he redeems himself, that he becomes a hero again. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a one-man show, because he'll need all of his teammates, he'll need Courtois playing his best, but you can just imagine if on the biggest game in the world, the biggest stage where all the Martians are watching from outer space, everybody tunes into this game, for Bale to capture this in his way that he's done in some of the big games in the past, it'll be another statement from him to say, there you go, he saves himself for these big opportunities so many times. And you know, even though the Madridistas, Bobo, it was pretty bad getting towards a situation where you think it was difficult for Zidane to juggle this and say it
wasn't easy.
Really.
But it seems that Zidane has kind of gone back on his word over the summer. He said, you know, that he wanted him out, and now he's essentially saying, no, he's part of our team, and he's backed him even through this whole banner gate.
Listen, the thing about football, that everything can change week to week basis. You know that. He was supposed to leave, like I just said. Now he's there, and you know the coach is going to depend on him because the coach sees him every week, the way he's training. So if Zidane said these words and he's making him play, that means that he's up to it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a situation in my memory of a modern footballer, a tremendous talent with a super tremendous footballing institution like Real Madrid, where all of the pieces have not been fitting in. There's always been some sort of commotion, some sort of indecision, people going, you know, the fans having their say, the players having their say, the coach, the president, the player himself. It's been as unusual as you can get, and yet he's still here and he's still firing and playing really well.
But I'm not surprised, Ray, because that's how this club is.
Yeah.
When there's what you said at the beginning, it's a circus.
When there's a little problem, it becomes a gigantic problem. Yeah,
absolutely. And we have people in our comment section saying, talk Barca, talk Messi. So let's move on. Lionel Messi did do an interview with Marca, and he brought up an interesting point. He says that he actually prefers to play Clásicos at the Bernabeu because he finds that there's more space, that when it's being played at the Camp Nou, Real Madrid are more defensive and a little bit more dangerous on the counter.
Right, Real Madrid come at, because he said in the interview as well, the Madridistas expect Real Madrid to take the initiative at home. They'll come at us, and that creates opportunities for us to hit them on the counter. And this Real Madrid team more and more is looking like a counter-attacking team. It doesn't seem to be, and I know that's blasphemy for Barcelona, but they seem to be very potent in this situation. At Camp Nou, it won't be that way. They're going to be coming back, and I think, I'm not so sure if Real Madrid will come out and play right on the front foot. I think they'll go with 4 in midfield, Bobo, this time.
I agree.
Yeah. A 4-4-2?
Probably. The little guy is right. Whatever he says, I always agree with him.
Of course.
You know, no one would even think about saying that, you know what I mean? But it's right. You know, playing in the Bernabeu, the fans are going to push the team to attack.
That's right.
Here they don't need to attack. You get those 5-6 counter-attacks in the first half and 5-6 in the second half, you can score a couple of goals. So it's, you know, there's less space. So let's see what happens tomorrow.
As a player, did you find playing big derbies was easier away than at home?
But for us, it's always in the same stadium.
Yeah, but I mean, in your whole career, I mean, in the Madrid derby.
The thing is that in Madrid, there's less tactics than in Italy. In Italy, there's not even 1 centimeter of space.
Right.
In Spain, it's different, you know. But what he said is right. You know, the Real Madrid's better off on the counter attack tomorrow night, because if you attack Barcelona in the Camp Nou, they can hit you very hard, you know.
They're going to make you pay for it. And Lionel Messi also, interestingly enough, hasn't scored or assisted in the last 3 editions of El Clásico. Bobo's going to jump off.
I'm jumping here. Isn't he the one that scored 700?
A little shocking. But, I mean, is he going to end his streak tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know.
You wouldn't put
I had to bring it up because it gets him fired up.
You wouldn't put money on him not scoring.
Right.
The way he's been scoring lately, Bobo, it's been Leo. It is absolutely magisterial best. From distance, his passing has never been better. He seems to be improving his passing game with every year, not going the other way. He's always been a great passer, but now he seems to be finding spaces in areas where, you know, he feels more comfortable, perhaps with Griezmann stealing in on those runs that he used to make and waiting for those balls for him. The passing of the geometry of his passes is staggering, man.
It's crazy. I think that he's going to start playing maybe in the next couple of years with a cigar. Because I just think like he's taking the crap out of everyone the way he's playing. It's like he doesn't even sweat.
Right.
Like you cannot stop the guy.
Yeah.
When he wants to score, he scores. And like Ray said, but we've been saying this for the last 5-6 years. The passing is crazy. I've never seen a player that gives 2-3 assists every game. But not assists that you've got to do something in front of the goals.
Exactly. The normalcy of his game was broken a long time ago. Now he keeps on reinventing. I always say he doesn't look for passing lanes. He creates them. He manufactures them over distance. And we're all sat there, you know, looking at this game on our televisions and even at the stadium in those 3 dimensions of height and length and width and breadth. We're with him on that level on the footballing pitch. When you level, how the hell he sees the passing angles is amazing.
It really is
continues
astounding.
to do it like nobody else in the world.
No one. I've never seen no one like that in the world. Like I said, Ray, when he stops playing, I'm throwing my TVs out of the house.
I think a lot of people would agree
I'm
with
not
you.
working no more. I don't want to talk about soccer ever again.
We'll never
I'm going to watch
like
my daughters, and Netflix. That's it.
Football's over when Messi retires for Bobo Vieri, and I think a lot of people would agree. But let's talk about Ernesto Valverde and maybe who he will start in the starting 11 lineup tomorrow for El Clásico. Widely suggested that he's going to start the same 11 that he did against Real Sociedad.
Right.
Maybe, though, he'll start Nelson Semedo at right back instead of Sergi Roberto, bump Sergi Roberto to midfield, and bump Rakitic to the bench. What do you make of that possibility?
The Rakitic one might be a concern. I've always protected him and fought for his corner. I think Rakitic is a wonderful player. He's been suffering a lot of abuse from the Barcelona fans. But against La Real as well, man, he was a little bit found wanting and a little bit off. But, you know, he loves Busquets. Does he go with Busquets again with Frankie de Jong and maybe Vidal to get that extra, you know, impetus in that midfield? He's got choices, but he's got to hit the bullseye. I would. The way Sergio Roberto has been playing the last few games, I think I would stick with Sergio Roberto.
And a lot of fans agree. I mean, but a lot of fans also wanted to see Vidal in the starting 11 just because he brings some physicality.
Listen,
to that midfield.
I watched last week Inter Barcelona, Champions League from the stadium. Rakitic and Vidal were playing. Man, they were amazing. Yeah, both of them.
In that game, they really played well.
So you think either or?
I think there are two... Still today, world-class players.
No question.
World-class players. Maybe sometimes you got some problems. You play a little bit less better. But, geez, these two are phenomenal.
Yeah, the mixture of it at the outset against the Real Madrid midfield, I think that Zidane may go with the 4 in midfield. I don't think Isco will get the start after his last performance, which was a little bit underwhelming. I'm a big fan of Isco, but I don't know if he'll start him at Camp Nou right from the get-go. Against the 3-man midfield of Barcelona, I think that area, Bobo, is going to be crucial.
I agree with you.
But again, man, it's the frog's hair between these two teams. World-class talent everywhere on both sides. So which one's going to do? And the goalkeepers. We haven't talked about the goalkeepers.
Let's talk about the goalkeepers.
That is going to be a big decision. On
Frog's hair is new, huh?
Yeah,
Frog's hair is new.
Razzle dazzle. I was like, Frog's hair. I haven't heard that.
Well, we're taking notes on Ray's, but I mean, Ter Stegen versus Courtois.
World-class goalkeepers. Ter Stegen definitely up there with the very best in the world for me. And just the last couple of games, he's shown I'm not saying he's been off colour, but there's been a couple of notes dropped by him that you think he has, he's human, basically.
Exactly.
Courtois had the game of his life in the last game against Valencia with not his goal scoring, but his goal saving. He saved opportunities to deny Valencia where it looked as if they were going to be through and starting to get well ahead. But so both goalkeepers needed. Courtois is going to have the big test, though, because those three coming at him is a whole different proposition to anything he's faced so far.
And let's talk about those three. The MSG appear to be finally clicking. What do you make of Griezmann's integration into this front line? That it seems to be tough for him.
Do I have to say the truth?
Yeah,
yes.
Of course.
The truth and only the truth.
So-and-so.
Yeah.
So-and-so.
Unconvincing yet.
Yeah, he doesn't, even against Inter last, I don't know, he doesn't seem convincing playing that way, the way they play.
Right.
Normally, on the outside, they've got quick guys, so he's not that quick. He's more, he wants the ball more on his feet. I don't know, he doesn't convince me. He's still a fantastic player, but maybe in this team here, the way they play, he hasn't convinced me 100%.
Right. He has taken a while to adapt, and they always say it takes a while in Barcelona. The first season's always the most traumatic in trying to understand him. When you're playing with Leo, there's an X factor there that you've got to start getting into. It took Suarez a while. It took everybody a while. And how do you connect with that sort of level of a player who sees football in a different dimension? Griezmann, for me, has been... as Bobo says, just a little unconvincing and still not stinging the players up at all. His quality, he's quick, he's sharp, he's insightful, but you just imagine there's another gear at least to come out of Antoine. And again, the big lights are on, the biggest game in the world is there. Is it going to be Griezmann? Is it going to be Bale? Is it going to be Benzema? Is it going to be Leo, Suarez? On and on. One of them is going to be the hero. So put your money down.
Ooh, who's it going to be? Let's hit the comment section because some people are asking everyone question. This one's for Bobo. Do you think De Jong has been the most consistent player for Barcelona this season?
He's an amazing player. He runs, I think, 10 kilometers, 11 kilometers a game. That's what they told me.
Rate is unbelievable.
He has good technique, and he has the Ajax school.
Yeah.
So it's easier for him to play for Barcelona because it's very similar.
Great point.
So it's a little bit easier for him from Ajax to go to Barcelona. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a fantastic signing.
Oh, amazing.
They really identified the right type for an apparent situation. Maybe it's, obviously the fit is for the Busquets position. Yes, but he has a different type of element to him for me, De Jong, where he has that alacrity, that speed, that pace to be a box-to-box type of midfielder. But there's a decision going to have to be made by the new coach. Do we want him to be that pivot, that organizer, that architect in that holding midfield position? Are we going to release him more and more like they have done with how Iniesta used to be, or how Rakitic has played? So that's a big decision because he can do both. Fabulous signing.
Really is, and one for the future. Al Mansa asking, would you start Casemiro, Kroos, Valverde, and Modric all at once? And that is what we're expecting, right, guys?
I would always start with Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric, because what they've done in the last 4 or 5 years with this team. How do you say effective? No, I'm affected.
Affected, yeah.
I'm affection. No, I'm I'm
Oh,
aficionato.
you're a fan of it.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of
He's
those
an
three.
aficionado.
Yeah, sorry.
I love it.
I think, by throwing in Valverde, that's going to be the crease that Zidane might throw at Barcelona if they play with Casemiro and Valverde sitting in those two central positions in front. And, we've seen Valverde able to join in and get forward as well. And with Modric and Kroos able to supply, because I think they may have to be a little bit more conservative. 35 goals Barcelona have scored in the last 10 games. So they may have to be a little bit, not exactly fighting fire with fire, the way they did against Valencia in that first half, where I thought Real Madrid were flipping magic.
Oh, they really were.
And really should
very
have
strong
converted.
30 minutes.
And that part of it, I'm not so sure that. But hey, Zidane might say, hell, let's release the hounds, damn the torpedoes, we're going after them.
And we're going for it. This question is about Ernesto Valverde. If he loses this match, is he once again on the table to be sacked?
Man, these coaches, every time they lose, they're supposed to get sacked, and then Tuesday they're back at training. So I don't even listen. I don't even think about that anymore. You know what? Both of them are first in the league.
Yeah.
And in the last 16 of the Champions League, what can you do more than that?
But Barcelona fans not convinced the way that Ernesto Valverde has his team playing.
Yeah, okay, but who are you gonna? You think is that you got to sack him and then you got to go find someone else?
Right.
I think it's one of these situations, Gabby, that he has tolerated a lot of the slings and arrows. Certainly did after Roma. He certainly did after Anfield. He's done it again this season, where Barcelona, without Messi, were looking less convincing than anybody. You saw La Real basically Barcelona-ing Barcelona with that old type of high pressing, rapid attack, wonderful, vibrant midfield, and he's getting by. So I think he's probably been through the worst right now. There's no chance that Barcelona, unless there's an absolute utter catastrophe, that they'll release this manager. So here's what he is. They are who they are, and this is an important game for him
At
as
least
well.
not now. They would never. I don't think a mid-season
But
sacking
you can
would
imagine
happen.
if they take the head of Real Madrid in Camp Nou with an impressive performance, then things will be a lot more quiet.
Ryan Moran asking, will Zidane man-mark Messi?
No.
Like he did so he did back in the day. He had Kovacic man-marking Messi. That did not end well. Some murmurings of maybe Fede Valverde man-marking him. Don't think that's going to happen.
So let me say one thing. You're gonna mark him in. I mean, what if he just drops back?
Okay.
You're gonna have a hole in the middle there, like 30-40 meters. Like no one's gonna be there. You can't. That was 1960s. You could do that. I wouldn't do that anymore.
And it doesn't work for Messi.
He's right. It's old school and it's archaic. I would do it. I would do it.
Okay, explain.
I'd say, listen, when Messi goes to the bathroom at halftime,
you go with him, right? Those
Those days, and be a cork up his nose and stifle him as much as you can, and it won't happen because, like Bobo says, they would exploit the areas of space that player is leaving. But for me, if you've got a chance in almighty hell of limiting Leo, you're going to have to stick with him. And then even then, though, Gabby, if you go man to man with him and he evades him, Messi can. It's like wrestling with a ghost. He's so quick to it, and then he'll get by you. And now you're up against the odds swing the other way. It's a gamble. I tell you, I would take it. It won't happen.
People are asking for our predictions, so we will give them, and we'll continue to give them today and tomorrow and in the preview show. But what's your prediction, Bobo?
3-1.
To who?
3 is the home team.
Home team, okay.
3-1.
I'll go with Real Madrid. I think
Really?
Real
Yeah.
Madrid.
I'm also going for Real
Ray,
Madrid.
you're killing me, right?
Explain, defend your prediction. 3-1.
Yeah, I think Messi's going to score 2 goals, Suarez 1, and Benzema's going to score. I want to see, we're on the field tomorrow, right? I want to see goals.
Absolutely.
There's 110,000 people. We're going to work together again, like the good old days. And I want to see goals.
But the last 16 games they've played against each other, both teams have scored. So, there's the record of goals galore happening. It's too important of a game for them to be so cautious. They'll attack. For me, Benzema is the one and only key. Of course, if Messi is up to his greatest, there's no stopping him. But Benzema, if they flood that midfield, Real Madrid, like we're expecting to, and really stifle Barcelona in that midfield, and it's a contentious game, the opportunities are going to fall to Benzema. We know they're going to fall to Suarez and Griezmann and Messi on a continual basis, but it's Benzema that has got to be the cleaner tomorrow. If he strikes, then everything depends on Big Benz.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. We are running out of time, but I do want to let you guys know the talk of the town is that both Barcelona and Real Madrid will be staying together at the same hotel before the match due to security concerns. Bobo, as a player,
really?
Yes, yes, they will both be concentrated from noon, the entire afternoon at Hotel Sofia.
You go play cards with your teammates from the national team. You go play cards.
Will they be having coffee together?
I wouldn't be surprised if someone does an Instagram in someone's room and you got 3-4 Barcelona players and 3-4 Real Madrid players.
They're like, what time's kickoff?
game of poker going on upstairs. Big stakes.
Well, we are so excited to begin our coverage tomorrow, starting with Sports First at noon, live from the Camp Nou, followed by our pregame show at 1 o'clock, and then, of course, kickoff at 2. The three of us will be doing coverage all day long, and we are so excited to bring you along the journey, so you won't want to miss a minute of it. That's all from us in Barcelona.
All the players are going to be coming over to Bobo for asking him for his autograph. So
maybe Bobo can get us some autographs. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's all we have from Sports First. We'll see you guys tomorrow.